Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. Okay, we're in a different place. You get that, you got that, good. I am doing my makeup because I'm actually killing, you guys know, in order for y'all to get these daily videos, I gotta kill a couple birds with a couple stones because it's too much. It's too much to try and pump out content and then try to do the things I have to do in my normal life. So today is a Saturday and I'm going out. You know, I'm going out. So, but I didn't want to record this video because this video is actually quite important to me because I wanted to talk about something that's been on my mind. So on Twitter, someone tweeted about how cancel culture only privileges the privileged. It only helps people who are already in power. They get to all of a sudden play the victim role. And I wanted to really talk about that subject, immerse myself in that subject, because with that tweet, they were able to say what I've always been thinking before. Okay, so we know how a lot of people these days talk about how cancel culture is not real. We don't really cancel people. And I want to point out the reason why that is because we have this idea that cancel culture helps the everyday person. Like, we get to hold these people in power accountable for the things that they do. But that is not what cancel culture does. Cancel culture does not work because the minute someone is canceled, they flip the script and all of a sudden they become the victim. Whereas now, we the people who decided to put this person's feet to the fire, we now look crazy. We now are victims of being gaslit, because now we seem like the ones who are always picking on people, always bullying people. So I want to be very transparent about the fact that cancel culture, the reason why it does not exist or it is not effective is because people in power use it to make people who are not in power feel bad. And this is something that has been happening since the dawn of time. People in power make people who are not in power feel bad for ever trying to question them, ever trying to get the respect that they feel like they deserve. And we see that now throughout society, between celebrities, between people at work, powerful people at your job and stuff like that. We constantly see when someone who does not have the power as someone else, when they try to hold them accountable, they are seen as a troublemaker. They are seen as someone who needs to get a life. They are seen as someone who needs to mind their business. So I want people to be very clear. What the reason why cancel culture doesn't work in the way we see is because take the James Charles, Jeffree Star, and Tati situation. None of you in my comments, I did not make Tati put up that video, that Bye Sister video. I did not make her do it. You did not make her do it. No one who is a fan of her platform made her put up that video. Did we? Speak your piece. If you told Tati to put up that video, come forward. But I know you guys did it. None of us made Tati put up that video. Point blank, period. Now, when she puts up the video, she makes it seem like she is doing something for us, as most celebrities do. When celebrities drop their albums, when celebrities have a new TV show, when they have a new movie, they like to pretend like they are doing something for us. They are doing us a service, when in reality they're not doing us a single thing, because if you weren't doing it, someone else would do it. They like to make it seem like they are doing you a favor. So when Tati puts up her Bye Sister video, she makes it seem like she is just exposing James Charles, and we need to understand the type of influencers we're supporting, and it seems like they're doing something nice for you. The people in power always make it seem like they're doing you a favor. So at your job, your boss is making it seem like when he gives you 50 hours in 1 week, he's making it seem like he's helping you out. Like you don't have a family, like you don't have friends you want to spend time with. He's making it seem like he's doing you a favor by giving you hours. So same way with Tati, when she exposes James Charles, she makes it seem like we are being given the favor, when in reality we are not. Now, as things go, it all crashes and burns. So Tati puts up her Bye Sister video, and as expected, it gets a reaction. The thing is, you wanted the reaction. You wanted the reaction. The same way, like when I was using my analogy, your boss wants you to be thankful. When they give you a bunch of hours that I guess you requested, or that, they know you have bills to pay, and they give you your hours, they expect gratitude. They expect you to be like, oh my God. They expect you to show up on time. They expect something out of you. The same way Tati would expect something out of you when she put up that Bye Sister video. She wanted you to be on her side. Now, in many cases, this goes bad. In many cases, things do not go the way the person in power expects it to. So Tati did not expect for all of a sudden her not to be in the good graces. She did not expect for all the negativity that came out of it, right? She did not expect for James Charles to respond the way he did. She did not expect for her to eventually start losing subscribers. She did not expect any of this at all. Or when she was expecting it, she wasn't expecting it to this degree. She didn't expect it to be this big. Of course she didn't expect that. But once again, we didn't make her put up the video. We didn't make her expose James Charles. Did we now? No. So then when things don't go as planned, back to the analogy of your work. When your boss puts you on 50 hours and you tell them, this is slave labor, I'm not working these hours, that's when they flip the script. So you try to cancel your boss. Maybe you report your boss to corporate. If it's a celebrity world, you cancel them, right? So all of a sudden, when the word of cancellation comes in, holding people in power to the responsibility that they should be held accountable to for doing what they did, all of a sudden they take the place as the victim. Instead, the entire time they have had all the power. Tati put up that video herself. She gained 5 million subscribers. We did not. She seemed like somebody who was exposing the beauty community. We did not. She had everything to gain. When you take on those 50 hours at your job, the person who is benefiting from that is whoever owns your job and your boss, because now they have someone to work those shifts. Point blank period. You did not gain anything from it at all. You did not gain. Your job is your job, period. Like, we all know you'd rather be at other things. You didn't gain anything from it. Of course, and in the same way, like, you get money at your job, we got mindless fodder. We got to, engage in the drama. Like, so those small little incentives, us being able to laugh at James Charles, and you getting paid the pennies you get paid at your job, makes it seem like you have something to gain out of this situation, when in reality, you do not. So this is what the privileged love to do. Once we, as not the privileged, decide to, hold them accountable, they look at us like we're crazy. They look at us like they have done us a service. Tati did it the best. Notice how Tati, James Charles, and Jeffree Star, when everything went to hell in high water, they decided to say this is a dark place. This is one of the darkest days on the internet. We need to go past this. The biggest thing I want to point out with Tati, notice how Tati said she doesn't want the negativity. Notice how all of a sudden her putting out that Bye Sister video has turned into us being negative people. We did not start the negativity, but that is what they do. When you complain on your boss at work, all of a sudden you create a toxic environment. No, the environment was toxic when you started scheduling people for too many hours. That is a toxic environment. The negativity started when y'all started bickering amongst each other. But notice when you cancel people, the people who the cancelers, us, we become the people who create the negative environment. We become the ones who throw too many stones. We need to get a life. We need to stop worrying about other people. We need to stop being hypocrites. Notice how all of a sudden, the people who are not in power, the regular peasants, we all of a sudden become the issue. That's why I said, notice how James, Jeffree Star, and Tati all said they were in dark places. Notice how in James Charles' video, he says we damn near drove him to suicide. You see how every time, and you can go through every single cancel situation. Notice how when Kanye West was getting canceled for the Trump thing, all of a sudden we were supposed to feel bad because he's schizophrenic, he's bipolar. Notice how every time a celebrity gets canceled, all of a sudden they cop all these pleas about every single issue that they had. And now to make us look crazy, to make us, Kanye West is walking around here with a MAGA hat, but all of a sudden Kim Kardashian is on her Twitter telling us he has bipolar and we need to leave him alone. He has this, that, and the third. He's in a dark place. That is every celebrity's favorite word. They're in a dark place. They're in a dark place because at the end of the day, these people of privilege don't care how they make you feel. That's why I say cancel culture is the thing that only helps the privilege. It is the way for the privilege to come out on top in the end. That's why cancel culture does not work, because every single time James Charles, Tati, Jeffree, Kanye, and the list goes on, at the end of the day, they will always turn it into the fact that they are in a dark place. We need to feel bad for holding them accountable. And this is something that rich people, people in privilege, people in power have done forever. For example, slavery. Oh my gosh, we don't have slaves anymore. We need to feel bad for the white people because now they don't have anyone to do anything with their crops. Poor Annie and poor Susie are not going to be able to have money anymore because they don't have slaves to do their crops for them anymore. All of a sudden, it turns into the people in power being the victim. And that's why cancel culture does not work. It's because people in privilege are the only one who gain things from cancel culture. Until we dismantle the idea of privilege, the way that people of privilege take advantage of people who are not privileged is despicable. Back to Tati, James, and Jeffree. Notice how each and every one of them had a sob story. Notice how Jeffree Star took the high road, and that's what I want to get on next. Jeffree Star got on his channel and took the supposed high road. When he says he's taking the high road, he's assuming we were taking the low road. We had nothing to do with this. You didn't make Jeffree Star chime in. I didn't make Jeffree Star chime in. You didn't make James Charles a bad. None of us had anything to do with the fact that these people were acting the way that they were acting. None of us did. But all of a sudden, when things don't go in their favor and people are trying to hold them accountable, we become the issue. We are not the issue. We have never been the issue. Point blank, period. You are the issue. But when you try to cancel these people, they make it seem like you are crazy. And this is just the same old toxic way of thinking that everyone has done. And some of you, not some of you in my comments, but some regular people who are not even in power subscribe to the same thing. You sit here and you defend these celebrities because you have Stockholm syndrome. You don't even realize how you have been taken advantage of. You will sit there and be like, you don't know these people. Oh my gosh, James Charles thought about killing himself for doing this. Once again, I did not do anything to James Charles. Tati is the one he needs to be talking about committing suicide with, because that's who put up the video. We didn't do anything. Every last one of the people in that situation, Jeffree Star, James Charles, and Tati, all did everything. No one put a gun to their head, especially us. None of us had anything to do with any of them posting any type of video. Did we? Did we? No, we did not. No, we did not at all. We did not have any say in any of them doing anything they did. But they, each and every one of them, got on their platform and low-key blamed us for the reason why their life wasn't going that well. Their life wasn't going that good. And that is not our problem. That is not our problem. And that is why it's bothersome to me to see these people in power manipulate their audience. All of a sudden, you feel bad for engaging in drama you did not create. Tati is sitting here talking about how she's taking a break from social media and all this negativity and all these bad things. But I'm like, sis, you started this. You originally came on Instagram crying about those vitamins. You started all of this. You are the person who originally started the negativity. So now that we respond, and when we were responding in the way that you favored, you were okay with it. You were okay. You were good. But then when things started spiraling out of control, that's when it's negativity. But the thing is, you wanted the negativity. You created the negative environment. And people in privilege like to pretend like they're above things. Jeffree started taking the high road. They're above things when now it doesn't benefit them. When things don't benefit them anymore, or they find themselves in the crossfire, all of a sudden they don't benefit from this anymore. They're higher than this. They don't want to dwell on the negativity. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do that. And they gaslight you. They gaslight the everyday person into believing they are a bad person for holding people in power accountable for what they do with their platform, how they treat people. And that is how people in privilege stay in privilege, making you, the peasant, feel bad for holding them accountable, making you feel bad for wanting justice, for wanting responsibility. That is the biggest thing. Wanting people to own up for the way that they treat people. But no, everyone's suicidal. Everyone's in a dark place. And no one's saying you're not. You could be every last one of those things. But that is none of our problem. And you can't sit here and say that James Charles putting the fact that he's been suicidal or, depressed wasn't in that video for a reason, because he could have edited it out. Notice how he was in the video like, oh my gosh, I've never talked about this. I don't know if I should say this. You edit your videos. I hate when people think we're dumb. That's how they manipulate this audience. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I just said that on camera. You can edit your videos. You said it on camera because you know you were keeping it in your video. Because if not the case, you would have just took it out. You wouldn't have been like, I can't believe I just said that on camera. You would have just been like, let me remember to edit that. Let me look at the timestamp. Okay, make sure we edit this out at 8 minutes. But you put it in there because you want to make people who are coming for you, who are dragging you, feel bad. Because here's the thing, let's be honest. Most people get to privilege by being bad people. That is just the world we live in. Most people in privilege treat people who are not privileged horribly. That is just the world that we live in. And the people who are not a privilege are most of the time decent people. And that is what they play on. They play on your decency. They play on your sympathy. They know you will feel bad for them because you, at the end of the day, are a solid person. At the end of the day, you are just a good person. And they use that to their advantage, point blank, period. And so it's just bothersome. And I wanted to just shed light on we're in a dark place. Somebody go get them a lamp. Somebody go get each and every one of them a lamp for that dark place at the end. As a matter of fact, just cut off the lights. Just keep the lights off and shut the door and lock it. Keep them in that same dark place, because that's not our problem. It's not my problem that Tati Westbrook is in a dark place. Why should it be? You posted the video. I did not make, my videos went up before Tati. So I did not make Tati make one Bye Sister video. I didn't make her do the Why I Did It video. I didn't make James Charles respond. I didn't make Jeffree Star chime in with his 2 cents. I did none of this. So why all of a sudden am I being told you're taking the high road? I didn't make you go to the low road. So why are you informing me you're taking the high road? These were all your decisions. And this is why cancel culture doesn't work, because they make you feel bad. And I would like to assume, are all decent people. So we just like, oh, Kanye West has bipolar disorder. It doesn't matter if he's supporting a man who has dishomed and moved out of places a bunch of Hispanic people. Like, it doesn't matter if he's doing that, if he's preaching racism from the White House. It doesn't matter if he's doing that. Kanye West can, he's just a little crazy. We all are a little crazy. So no, that's not our problem, because at the end of the day, if they did not do what they originally did, you wouldn't come from them. You can say Kanye West is bipolar, this, that, and the third. If he was minding his business, and we were still dragging him, you can do all types of bipolar. We need to leave him alone, blah, 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 blah. If Tati Westbrook had just mind her own business and didn't post that Bye Sister video and left us alone, well, she could say she's in a dark place and she's taking a break from the internet. If James Charles was just out here minding his business and treating people well, he could tell us that, hey, he's suicidal and we should care. But we did nothing in the first place that got you to that point. None of the things involved were our issue, but you made it our issue. And now you're making us the problem. And that's why cancel culture doesn't work. They all of a sudden, they turn it and make you the problem. When you're just speaking up on something, when you're just telling corporate that your boss is giving you too many hours, all of a sudden you become the issue. And that ain't it. That ain't it. So yeah, anyways, I love you guys so much. I will see you in my next one. Bye-bye.